You can now teach Claude your job. Yes, Claude has just introduced something called Record Skills. It's a new feature that will allow you to record the skill, showing Claude how a process works from start to finish, including clicks, your voice, and additional feedback, and then turns it into a reusable skill. I'm going to show you how it works so you can get started using this. This is currently available for Pro, Max, and Team plans inside of Claude. So to kick things off, you need to press the plus button and record a skill. Now, as you can see, this modal pops up. Now, just make sure before you get started that you are connected to the microphone. So before you get going, you need to make sure you allow the private window picker and make sure you don't put passwords in as well. So in this process, I'm actually going to show you Claude a update on how to choose a tag. And what you'll notice here is that I've done a few steps wrong. In my own admin area, I've pressed add tool, gone to search a tool, and it's probably confused Claude without knowing the voice, just for this example. But I'm going to go over here and select and change the tag from top pick over to must have. Now I've pressed save and I've gone ahead and pressed stop the recording. And as you can see, it's processing down at the bottom. Now, as you can see, when it kicks off, it's basically like a co-work window where you can see a little prompt plus the 42 seconds and a half recording I've got, and you can see what it looks like from start to finish of all the clicks and all the items. Now, once it does its syncing, it's going to basically pull that process in word for word, creating that skill. And as you can see, it's come back with a couple of minutes, it's come back with a generalization of that skill. It has detected that it's obviously updating the tag, but it also put all of those other things in there. So you can naturally prompt it back saying the process was to showcase the update of the tags, and it's reworked that entire skill. Now, how to go to the next level with this is something that I haven't actually set up yet. It's the Claude in Chrome extension, which if you don't have, allows the Claude to control your backend, well, not your backend, but the access to the browser, as long as you've got the laptop open. So I'm going to set that Claude MCP up, and I'm going to ask it to tag granola within our system to the tag hidden gem. Now, one thing it did do is actually obviously pick up that I've got granola attached as an MCP, which is naturally the nature of our work. So it might have confused it, but in this case, it actually hasn't. And it also made me aware that I didn't have the connector actually on. So I just reconnected it. And as you can see, it's asked me for permission to open the MCP, and I'm going to show you and talk through how it's going to do that. So as you can see, it's opened up the Comet browser, and you can see that it's starting to do that pretty well. So you can see it's changed the tag and kicked off the session, and it uses like an augmented browser type experience to do that for you. Now, you're probably wondering, how's this actually practically helpful? Well, for example, I'm thinking of a step for myself, like I have something called a YouTube video prep skill, which is basically the ability to add in like the transcript and then be able to, port that into YouTube and prep the video. I'm thinking that skill could potentially be something more practical. So as I've just showed you there, it's quite a simple process. It's a case of documenting how you do something and beginning to implement it. Now, the one thing I'd say is probably keep this to a process that is obviously a lot smaller, like 3 to 5 steps, versus something that's in depth or complex, like 20 steps. In my opinion, it probably will work better. Refining the skill before you actually do it will have better impact and result. Like when I recorded it, it didn't have much context. So the more context I gave it, the refinement of the skill became better. And you can give it stuff like, okay, I've recorded this, but I want to objectively look at this part of the process that I did so that it narrows down the skill and makes the results better. You're probably wondering, how is this going to impact the work that I do? Well, all of these small administration steps are to help you to reduce the workload you're doing. So long term, this is probably going to be beneficial where you've got multi-steps in action. So for example, say you kick off the morning and you say, do this, do this, do this, and you're running agents, but you're also running these skills to go into your browser to start doing the actions for you. That can be incredibly beneficial because those small steps, and once it knows 50 of those different skills, they could attach to each other. So a skill knocking on a skill, knocking on a skill, And that's where I think the process is going to be much more refined. So if you're new here, welcome. Do subscribe if you're new. And I'd love to have you here in the comment section sharing what process you're going to kick things off, because people will read the comments and then see whether they can take some notes for themselves. So thank you very much. See you very soon. Cheerio.